Have you ever looked at a super tall skyscraper and wondered how it doesn't just topple over in the wind? Well, deep inside one of the world's most famous towers, there's a massive golden orb that's both beautiful and absolutely essential. Today, we're unlocking the secrets of Taipei 101's incredible Golden Guardian.
Right, so this thing is not just some giant piece of art. It's a hero hiding in plain sight, a pendulum that lets this impossibly tall building stand up to some of the most powerful forces on the entire planet. But how? How does a giant swinging ball actually protect a skyscraper?
Okay, so to really get why this thing is so genius, you first have to understand the sheer scale of the problem it's solving. Taipei 101 was built in a place that is, let's just say, extremely challenging for a tall building.
First up, you've got the wind. I mean, serious wind. Taiwan is right in the middle of a major typhoon alley. That means this tower has to be able to handle winds screaming past at 200 kilometers per hour. That's enough force to try and push a skyscraper over like it's a giant sail.
And if terrifying winds weren't enough, there are the earthquakes. The tower is smack in the middle of one of the world's most active seismic zones, so it has to be ready for quakes of magnitude 6.8 or even higher. But it's that constant, powerful wind that creates an even sneakier threat. Yeah, it's this thing called vortex shedding. See, when wind whips past a building, it doesn't just push it from one side. It creates these swirling whirlpools of air, first on one side, then the other. This sets up a rhythmic push-pull, a wobble that can get stronger and stronger until the building could literally shake itself to pieces. So how in the world do you fight something as powerful and relentless as the wind itself? Well, you build an equally powerful guardian, an absolute masterpiece of engineering. This is it. It's a 660-ton solid steel sphere. To put that in perspective, that's the weight of about 400 cars. It's plated in gold, and it hangs from these massive steel cables way up between the 87th and 92nd floors. And believe it or not, it's the biggest one of its kind anywhere on Earth. Which brings us right back to that big question, doesn't it? It just feels wrong. How can adding a gigantic, heavy, swinging weight inside a skyscraper actually make it more stable, not less? Well, the answer is all in the physics of something called the counterswing. And honestly, the concept is just beautifully simple and elegant. Here's the absolute easiest way to picture it. Imagine you're standing on a bus, and it suddenly lurches to the right. What do? You instinctively lean your body to the left to keep your balance. In that moment, you are acting as your own little damper. This giant golden sphere does exactly the same thing, just for a 508-meter tall skyscraper. It's like a four-step dance. First, the wind shoves the tower one way. Then, because of simple inertia, that huge, heavy ball swings the opposite way. That counter movement sucks up the wind's energy, which just turns into a little bit of heat, and poof, the building's overall sway is hugely reduced. The official engineering name for this thing is a tuned mass damper, or a TMD. And that word tuned is the real secret sauce here. The pendulum swing is perfectly calibrated, or tuned, to the natural frequency of Taipei 101 itself. That means it always moves out of sync, perfectly canceling out the building's motion. But this whole setup isn't just about preventing the building from falling over in a worst-case scenario. It's also about something way more relatable, the comfort of the people actually inside the building. I mean, just think about it. Could you imagine working on the 90th floor during a typhoon? Even if you know it's structurally sound, that constant swaying, that feeling of movement, as Vox puts it, it would just be incredibly nauseating. So the damper's job is to make the top floors feel as solid and still as the ground floor. And the effect is, well, it's massive. The damper slashes the building's movement by up to 40%. That is the very real difference between feeling totally seasick at your desk and not even noticing that a typhoon is raging just outside your window. You know, most modern skyscrapers have some kind of damper system, but what makes Taipei 101 so unique, so special, is that they didn't just hide theirs away, they turned it into an engineering celebrity. Normally, these devices are pure function. They're hidden on mechanical floors, unseen by anyone except engineers. But the designers of Taipei 101 did something totally different. They put their damper right on display for everyone to see, turning a piece of critical infrastructure into a world-famous tourist attraction and a true cultural icon. They leaned into it so hard that, and I am not kidding about this 660-ton piece of precision hardware has its own adorable official mascot. They call it the Damper Baby. It's just the perfect example of how amazing engineering can become a beloved part of a building's whole identity.
So it really makes you rethink things, right? We think of these giant buildings as being completely rigid and unmoving, but their real strength comes from this carefully engineered dance. It makes you wonder, what's the true heart of a skyscraper? Is it the steel frame holding it up, or is it the massive moving weight inside that keeps it perfectly, beautifully balanced when the world outside starts to shake?